Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Brian Tarian from the Disability Digest, and welcome to our YouTube live event. We have a schedule adjustment today. We usually do these on Wednesdays, but due to travel, we're doing this event today. But today we've got some special guests with us, so we're going to talk about benefit changes coming up for 2025. So I expect you will enjoy the show. This information will be valuable to anybody that is definitely if you're on benefits, but if you are going through the approval process and optimistically will be approved, then you'll definitely find this helpful. I'm going to break this show up into two parts. We're going to talk about the benefit changes, what to look for, what actions to take so that you can make sure that you're properly covered and get everything you're entitled to in 2025. And then we're going to talk about employment information and what's going on in the world of employment. It is National Disability Employment Month of October. So we hope you enjoy the show. Special guest here today, Miss Daphne Graff is with us. Thank you for joining us, Daph.
Thank you for asking me.
Yes, yes. And Philip Price is with us here today.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, yes. Philip, as you've probably seen here, maybe seen here before, runs one of the most popular Facebook groups online to help people with disability related questions. So it's great to partner with Philip and provide some actual how-tos to the group members. And then David, thanks for being with us today. David's going to help us out and moderate some of the questions that that you will be able to offer. I don't know if offering questions is the right thing, but so if you're new here, welcome, or if you're back, welcome back. Our focus in these events is to be a trusted source for disability-related information. Here at the Disability Digest, the work that we do is to help you get your disability benefits approved, help you keep them, and help you maximize them. We've been doing this since 2006, and we have a super talented team, of which Daphne and Philip, you've been working here for, I don't know, 4 years, 6 years?
Going on 5 years.
Going on
6
5 years.
years. 6 years.
I should know that. My bad. Yeah, although I know when I started, but I'd have to do the math on how many years it's been. But anyway, so that's what we have on tap. So the first thing I want to talk about today, and I'm sharing my screen with something that's not of much value to anybody, is your benefits. And when somebody becomes approved for their disability benefits, they enter into the world of Medicare eligibility. And in the Medicare eligibility world, there's a lot of information. And Daphne is our resident Medicare expert. And deciphering it, understanding the A, B, C, D parts of it, and how to get the right coverage is complex enough. But what a lot of people don't understand is that if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, which 98% of the people that are Disability Digest members here, and there's 192,000 of them, are on. If you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, that plan offers the same benefits for 1 year that they guarantee. Right, Daph?
Yeah, it depends on what time of the year you get your plan, but it will end December 31st.
Yep. So what you see and what you enrolled in and what you might be just in love with could very well change. So we're going to go through some examples of actual changes of what's happened on actual plans. And then you should have received the same information. Hopefully you kept it, read it, and didn't throw it out. And then we'll help you understand, like, okay, well, maybe I need to look around and do something like where can you go? How can you do that? So those are some of the things that we have on tap for the first part of the program, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so for the basics of Medicare benefits, we talked about plans are only available for a year. We encourage everybody to review your benefits annually because what I've seen in the time that I've been doing this is if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, it's one, the changes are something that you should be concerned about. But I look at it this way, these Medicare companies are making a ton of money and they're gaining and attempting to gain market share. So in order for them to do that, they need to put plans out in the marketplace every year that are more attractive and more competitive. So like in the last few years, Daphne, we've seen like these flex cards offered, like basically
Mhm.
it's like money you can spend.
Yeah.
Um, the Part B buybacks. So there's a lot of things that have happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start by looking at these notices of change. Perhaps it would be good if I didn't properly explain what a notice of change is, Daphne, if there's anything that you can add to what my statement was before we go through yours.
No, it's basically what it says. It's a notice of change from what plan you're in to what yours will be from 2024 to 2025.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get one notice of change for the plan that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Some people plans will change, other people plans will be done away with, and you got to choose another plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this example that we're looking at is the annual notice of changes. You notice how they have an S on the end
Mhm.
for this Humana plan right here that ends in 311,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Now, in my case, the name of the plan changed. It went from Humana Choice to Humana Full Access Give Back. So basically, it's telling me that I'm getting something back from Humana in regards to my Part B premium.
Oh, well, that's actually good news, isn't it?
Very good.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Is that where we're going first? I don't want to steal your show here
Well,
on
no,
you.
no, no. Just go ahead and I'll go over some of the other things because whenever you're looking at the annual notice of change, it's personal. And personal meaning, what did you get that plan for? Right? So in my case, I got the plan because I'm looking at my Part B give back. And the Part B give back went from 164 and some change to 174.70.
Am I
So
missing it? I'm trying to find it. Part
um
B bit give back.
it's normally in the beginning, Brian. Let's see, Part B.
Okay, monthly.
Monthly premium.
Yep.
Okay, so my monthly premium didn't change. It's normally right after the monthly premium, but in these forms, it's probably going to be a little bit further down.
Okay, Part
But
D.
as you go down, something else that I'm looking at is my doctor visits. I want to see what my doctor visits will be. And I'm hoping it's not on the second page.
So I see something here, like your in-network went from $4,850 to $6,200. So
Yes.
your maximum out of pocket has gone up.
Yeah. And as I said, that's personal because with me, I have two plans. I have my husband's plan and I have Medicare. So I'm not so much looking at my change because the change is going to be backed up by my husband's plan.
Got it. Okay, and so down here I see that this is what, dental? Yeah, this is your dental. Here's another example. You had 2,000 in dental and it goes down to 1,000.
Yes.
Emergency care, hearing, inpatient.
Some of them actually went down for the better.
Yeah.
That went to 55. I just saw something that went down from 100 to 55. This one went down from 50 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So in your market, so I'm not seeing the Part B premium.
Yeah,
Perhaps there was a
yeah.
page that's missing or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find it real quick, what page it's on. But yeah, it definitely,
So tell me the numbers again, Daphne. What was the change in the Part B give back?
164.90 to 174.70. It's on
Oh.
page 9, Brian. Do you have a page 9? Maybe some of the pages might have got when I was scanning it.
I have the page.
Section 2, right? Section 2. Changes to benefit costs, changes to monthly premium, right here. Yeah, it's right here, Brian. 164.90 to 174.70.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, but that's where the money's at.
Okay, so can you explain what a Part B
Part
what do
B
you
is
call it?
your medical.
No,
Is
the
what-
give back though. The
the
what's
give
going
back.
on? Yeah, yeah.
Basically, Humana is going to give back to my paycheck, the check that I get, right? They're going to give me 174.70 in 2025. In the 2024, I've been getting $164.90. And that means a lot to me because it's like getting you're getting extra money in your check every month. It's like a pay raise.
So my math says that that's $2,096.40 that you get by being in this plan, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think for those listening out there, an interesting thing for Daphne is you have your husband's insurance, which is that the primary?
Yeah, my husband's insurance is my primary. Medicare is
Okay.
my secondary.
Okay, Medicare is your secondary. So you only need Medicare like in like an emergency or if it's not covered in the primary, right? So
Exactly.
but it's in this case, in that strategy, by doing the Part B buyback, you're not paying you're paying low to no cost on your Part B premium by being in this plan.
Exactly.
Right.
Now,
So,
depends on what the Part B will go up to. There was case where it went down one time before, but I've heard like it's going to go up in the $200 range. So,
oh, in what year? Because I
in
didn't see that.
2025.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That would be significant because the cost of living increase is only expected to be like less than 3%. That's going to be
less than 3%, and it's crazy. You get a little bit of money and they take it away from you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about making money in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, Daphne, thank you on this. Is there anything else to point out?
No, I mainly look at that and my visits to the specialist, which went up to about from $35 to $40. So that's not so bad.
Right. Yeah. I want to interject something before we go over to Philip's situation. I reviewed a member's benefits for 2025 earlier this week, and sometimes people totally freak out about solving the problem of, if this wasn't a good solution for them, of what to, where to go and what to do. But oftentimes, in my experience, there may be a plan within the same company that you can just move to, so you're not like, and your doctors may still be covered. It's just moving into another plan. So for those of you out there that are gritting your teeth, like, oh my God, all right, I need to go to XYZ, possibly Medicare company. That's not always the instance. Okay, Philip, I have a hunch that yours is not quite so rosy.
No,
All right. So where would you like me to start?
anywhere you want to go. The biggest thing for me is the out of pocket. Went from 30 or 49 to 58, I think.
I see it right here as
54. 54.
right. So
Uh,
for those of you listening out there, what that means is if you have a major medical event or cumulative events, that the maximum amount that the individual in this plan would need to pay this year 4,900, next year 5,400.
Mhm.
yeah. And then the specialist changed, but it went down, which is good. Not much.
Mhm.
Went
Let's go
from
look at that.
That was right
Cost,
up under there.
Part D. Oh, okay, here we go. Primary care specialists, I see 25 and 25.
maybe it was the same. I was thinking it went down a little bit, but okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Uh, what else was there? Medications. Actually, that did better for 25. Um, one of the medications I take is Eliquis. That was a very expensive medication, and it wasn't on there last year on the
Mm-hmm.
formulary, but now it's there, and they're covering it, and it's a zero.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very good.
So I see the tiers are all the same. And for those of you looking at this, drugs are rated by tiers. The lower, the better. The higher, the not so good, more expensive. But like this tier 3 is $47 probably for a 30-day.
uh, yeah. Most of what I do is 90-day. If you get it on a what do they call it, Daphne?
Mail order?
Mail order.
Mhm.
You can save a little bit of money. Not
Yeah.
always. I've noticed in some of it that it has the opposite effect
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
on the mail orders. I don't understand that, but
Yep.
I don't write the rules. So
Okay.
let's
So
see. The
now
formularies is one thing. What's trying to think of some of the other.
I think I noticed some like emergency room changes, ambulance, so where is that? Okay,
Yeah,
so chiropractic slight difference went up. Let's look at your dental. Dental went
yeah, that
down. So dental
down.
was 1,500, now it's 1,000. So you took a $500 hit there.
Dental
Um,
and vision also took a hit.
and your emergency care went up from 90 to 125. Oh, the OTC, I think, changed on this too,
Yeah,
right here. Okay, so check this out. You were getting $85 credit per quarter. Now it's down to 40.
Mhm.
Yeah.
anybody that uh, takes advantage of your OTCs, you'll see that makes a big difference when they drop it like that because there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good products that you can get through the OTC.
Mhm. Yes, it is.
When they drop it down like that, it just cuts you off on some of the things you can purchase. And believe you me, that it saves us a lot of money every month when we could go to the over the counter and order our uh, needs through
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I mean, and that could be like standard use items like a toothbrush or toothpaste,
Right.
right?
yes.
Mhm.
Presuming that people brush their teeth, which I strongly encourage to do. Feel like I'm talking to my kids. All right, Philip, anything else on this to point out?
I'm sure there is.
I'm at the end.
We had time to do it line item by line, but
Yeah.
it's if everybody, and if you don't know what you're looking at, of course, you can always contact somebody here at the Disability Digest to help you review your changes, and you need to go through it. You need to look at it because there could be some catastrophic changes in there that you don't know about, and you just let your plan slide on to next year,
Oh,
Exactly.
and you don't change it, and all of a sudden you wind up in a hospital, and your bills start coming in. You're going, where, why,
yeah.
why all of a sudden all these big numbers?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why, because you didn't pay attention to it.
Right. Okay, so let's, the next thing is, thank you too for doing this. What if somebody didn't get their notice of change, or they got it and, they started a fire with it or whatever, they don't have it anymore. How do they get one?
They just call the number on the back of their membership card
Okay,
to request it. They
okay,
could send it to them digitally, or if the person is stuck on a hard copy, they can get the hard copy.
okay. All right. All right, so then let's go forward the next step. They look at it and like, oh my God, not going to work for me next year. I need to make a change, or I just want to change for whatever reason. Let's talk about the timing for changes. I have a page up here from I think this is it right here, from Medicare.gov. All right, so let's go through the times when people that are on a Medicare Advantage plan can change plans, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to cover this, Steph?
Well, as we were saying before, they can change their plans during their annual enrollment period, even though they have open enrollment period on this. It's normally called the AEP, annual enrollment period, or annual election period, October the 15th through December the 7th. And this is what Philip was talking about, looking at that annual notice of change and wondering if you should change your plan or talk to someone about it. You have a small window right there of getting it done. And you kind of don't think that, oh, I have time, it's December the 7th. There's so many other people that we're trying to help, that
Right.
we're just 2, 3 people trying to help a whole. And you said how many members we have, Brian?
Well, there's 192, but not everybody
Yeah.
requests a
Not
review.
everybody's in there, but we have
Thank
a
God.
lot of members that are
Right.
in Medicare.
Yeah,
So don't wait to the last moment to come to us and expect us to get it done. We want to know that you have the time to look at your annual notice of change and then come to us, and then we can help you out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then if you didn't get it done, they're giving you another chance, which is the open enrollment in January. And that's normally for people who have the Medicare Advantage plan and want to change from one Medicare Advantage plan to another Medicare Advantage plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 3 months to do that up until March 31st, from January 1st to March 31st.
Yeah. Or if you made a bad decision and got on a plan and you found out like, oh my God, those 3 doctors are not covered, then you can pivot.
Yeah, you can switch up your plan, but long as it's from a Medicare plan to a Medicare plan.
Yeah.
Medicare Advantage plan to a Medicare Advantage plan. You can't go to a Medicare Advantage and go to the original. You can't do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there's opportunity. I mean, and everybody is probably inundated with commercials right now because most of the activity is this October 15th to December 7th period. But it is much more peaceful and easier for a lot of people from the January 1st to 31st. So so those are your options. So one, if you don't have your notice of change, get it, review it. And I'd love to hear if there's people out there, like how many of you actually have reviewed your notice of change? If you'd put that in the comments, just put yes, I reviewed, or no, I didn't. That would be awesome to know what's going on, or maybe you don't care. I mean, I hope that's not the case because it's really devastating for people. So that would be helpful. And I see there's folks that are still joining us. We're going to take some questions in a few minutes, but I mentioned we're going to break this up into two parts here. But you could start entering your question. Dave and Philip will monitor those respectively on Facebook and YouTube as well. So the next segment of this that I want to cover is this National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And this is my personal story of being in this business, and a big reason why I'm still in it. Before I started this business 18 years ago, I had another business that I was working on. It was a startup, but the startup was going down. It wasn't doing very well, but there was one segment of marketing sales that was doing good. And so I started researching this to kind of find out, like, who are these people that are doing well? Is there anything in common? Maybe I can find more of them. Maybe that could be my savior. So what I found out is we had a direct sales channel of people that were working from their home, and they were marketing the product that we had, which at the time in 2004, 2005, it was a spam solution, which is likely still relevant today. But and some of the top performers that we had were individuals that had limitations, or they were disability recipients. Some were in Canada and some were in the US, and they were doing great, and they were very grateful for the opportunity to work, because at that time, if you think about it, this was like, it wasn't common for people to be able to work at home then, but they could with us. So that's when I started to like research, like, what is going on? Like, how many other people are there out there that could, benefit from this and, make it work? So long story short, that business just was going down at such a rate, it was not savable. But I learned a lot about what, some of the challenges are with people that have limitations, sickness, injuries, and that want to work and trying to find a place to work. So when I first started doing this business, the Disability Digest, I can clearly remember, like, I was like 4.5 months into it, and I'm like, I don't think I can do this. And I started in June because I was talking with people on the phone, and I found it really, really challenging to listen to the situations that people were faced with. By oftentimes it's a sudden set of circumstances where they lose their health and their income and all of the other events. And most of you out there listening to this, and I trust you get it. So in early 2007, I'm like, I'm going to try to go back to the business model that I had with the prior company and find individuals that are coming to our website that can work here. And the first individual I hired, I'll never forget him. His name was Dennis Barry. He had a very deep gospel preaching voice. He was awesome. So shout out to you, Dennis, out there. So, but what has kept me in this is like Dennis and Philip and Daphne, who have, sickness, injuries, their own personal challenges. They have just been, for me, incredibly inspirational, because you manage to make it work and impact people despite all the challenges that are going on. And you both work here part-time, and I mean, that's what your condition allows, and that's what the law allows, and all that works out fine. But I learn a lot. So for me, my message, if there's employers or other people out there listening to this, is that individuals are super, super valuable, and there is no way that I can relate to somebody that has lost their health like you guys. So. That's my take and why I'm here. That's my National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And I know that there's other companies out there that, if not a fit for people to work here, that where you could provide value. So I am a big proponent of using your skills and pursuing it. And I'd asked in advance of this if, Philip and Daphne respectfully could share some of their insight and experience, perhaps as a inspiration, something you might be able to learn from them that has helped them be successful in what they're doing here at the Disability Digest. So that's my take. So thank you. And who would like to go first?
Philip, I'll go first. Philip, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay. My situation was that I had a very, very bad case of diabetes, and I went through a lot. Went to a doctor that almost killed me because she didn't believe in insulin. And by the time I went to her, I was like probably 165. By the time I finished with her, I was down to like 113 pounds. So I really thought I was going to pass away with her. And I went through a situation. My boss came to me. He said, Daphne, you need to get on disability. And at first I was mad when he said that. And then I started thinking about it. Let me see exactly what this disability thing is all about. So I've got on it. My mind is still good. So I said, well, when Brian called me up and was asking me if I do Medicare, I told Brian, yes, I do Medicare. And he gave me the opportunity to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that you have to remember with jobs like this is that you don't have to work full day. You work part-time, you work 4 hours a day. Sometimes I can only work 3 hours a day, and based on the medication that they've given me, sometimes the medication makes you very sleepy. So it's very flexible. You do the 3 hours and then you go have a nap. But the flexibility of having a job that you can come to and still be productive. And that's the main thing I want to say. With these jobs, you're productive. You're helping someone else out. I have so many people that come to me, talk to me and say, how do you understand this stuff? Well, I got the hard choice. One day my boss came in and he said, all you new people, you start referring your business to the experienced agents, you do it yourself. We had no idea what we were doing, but we learned, and we learned fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's quite a ride that you had, for sure. So great to have you here.
Great to be here.
All right. My situation is much like Daphne's. I started out, my health issues went downhill because of diabetes, same thing. I'd spent 35 years in the construction industry, and when it got down to missing so much work because of my health conditions, I had to quit, and I had to go on disability, file for disability on my own. And my biggest advice to everybody out there that is struggling with the thought of having to go on disability is your health is going to drag you down along with your physical health is going to drag you down along with your mental. Your mental health is really going to be a factor, and you got to pay attention to that stuff. And the only way you can fight it back is to do something. Do something to occupy your time. If all you do is sit around and click the remote all day long and don't do anything, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's all you can do, that's all you can do. But if you've got the ability to go out there and do something, you need to go out there and do it, because it's gonna help you balance out your personal responsibilities to yourself and your professional growth, part-time roles can provide flexibility, allowing yourself to manage your health conditions. Caregiving is another way
Mhm.
to occupy your time. And also, if you're like me, I quit high school in ninth grade and didn't have no education. So I had to come into this business not knowing anything about it. If it wasn't for Brian and everybody that has worked as an advocate with the Disability Digest, I don't think I would have been able to do anything else but sit around and click that button.
Mm. Mm.
I strongly believe it's important if you can get out there and if you got the support group, get out there and do something.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Thank you, Philip. I just want to bring to everybody's attention. Philip is legally blind when he came here, and we do work online. So you think about this. Philip doesn't have any experience. He was cabinet maker, custom cabinets, did beautiful work. Comes here, and we're computerized, and he can't see. so, uh, so it's a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, and it's still a challenge.
Little bit of a learning curve. So,
But you help him out a lot.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
You make the words a lot bigger for all of us to see.
yeah. I've told Philip before. I mean, we're working together. Oftentimes, it's like the blind leading the blind because I don't know what to do or how to tell him how to do it. So, but we figured it out. But I want to just kind of riff on one point that you brought up about finding something to do, and this is for me, even as an able-bodied person. I think if reflecting back on my story, had I not understood the challenges and the connection and the respect for work, I wouldn't have had my purpose and what I do for work. I wouldn't have had clarity on that. So I would have not enjoyed the work. But for people, and I'm where I'm going with this is drawing a parallel. When you have something that changes in your life, a lot of people get entrenched onto their connection to the past. But what Philip is communicating is that, and myself, is that you need to find a new purpose so that you can connect a realistic purpose to where you're at now so that you can do the best with what you have and you feel like you're providing whatever it might be. And it might not be work, but the clicker is a killer. I know that for sure. I just don't know of anybody. You've got to find a way to do something. That's just the message that's here, right?
Exactly. Well said.
Yep. So, one thing for those of you out there, because this always happens, you're like, oh my God, you can work and make money. And yeah, you can, and you can keep your benefits. And I'm going to share with you the regulation is here. And what I'll do, David, is I'll put this in the chat and you can send it around. So this video will go through, and there's two regulations about how much money you can make. And I'm going to go through the one for those that are disability recipients. And this is the Social Security website. So the strategy is for 2024, you can earn up to $1,110 a month. And if you stay below that every month, then in concept, it won't have an impact on your benefits. You should really stay about 20% below that. So if you're working like 15 hours a week and staying 20% below that, and that's where your threshold is, then it won't have any impact on your benefits. You can do that each and every month. And I think that's where the purpose and the message comes. For people that are out there. And that earnings is after your expenses. So David, I just put that link in the chat for you. So yes, you can. Working while you're going through the approval process has a different regulation. It's really challenging if you're trying to prove that you can't work and you're still working. That's a whole different conversation. But for this example here, hopefully you find that helpful and comforting. All right, so let's do this. Let's take some questions that we have. David, if you would start first for what's in the YouTube queue, and we'll see who would be best suited to answer these.
Well, let me just say everything you said, guys. All you three are very great points and insights, and I appreciate you sharing your story. And I just learned about those. So yeah. First thing that caught my eye here is the question, can you pay Medicare all parts through a credit card?
I'll kick that one to you, Daphne.
Yes, you can. You can pay, if they're talking about paying their Part B premium, they can do it, but they got to stick to that one format for the whole year. They can't switch it up and go from paying a check or have the Social Security taken out of their check or paying credit card. If they're going to do it with the credit card, they have to do it for the whole year.
Ooh. So that's how it works. Thank you, Daphne. And next, so someone right here just asked, we already mentioned it, the increase in monthly premium for Medicare from $174, it's been increased to
It's just that I heard, I didn't know for sure, but I heard it was going to go up to $200, a little over 200.
So what happens this time of year is that's usually released. The cost of living adjustment is released, and then the increase in how much money you can make and keep your benefits is released. So usually sometime in October. They throw it all in with this Medicare open enrollment period to create a bunch of mayhem, but yeah.
Right. And someone on Facebook, I just searched it, but this is way back last month, with a projected increase in Medicare for next year and our IRMMAA thresholds, how can us beneficiaries best prepare for these rising costs? I have no money running out, and if there are any strategies to minimize the impact of these changes on our healthcare budgets.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll take a shot at that, but anything from you two first?
I don't have anything. That's out of my pay grade.
Yeah. So the first thing is definitely review your benefits. Like Daphne and I were talking about earlier, there are new plans that come out every year, and there is these flex cards that are common, especially if you're dual eligible, or can get into a special needs plans for diabetes, for heart condition or stroke or anything like that. If they're available in your area, those flex cards you can use to pay utilities, groceries, and other needs. So they're a powerful tool if that's an option. So that would be one. The other thing is, think about what you can do for a side hustle. And even if it's, babysitting or bartering or yard selling and buying stuff low and flipping it high, like Gary Vaynerchuk's trash talk. Work on finding something else to do, because there isn't a magic bullet for the rising cost of healthcare. You get a little bit of offset with the COLA and possibly something in the Medicare plan. I'm most optimistic because of today's environment and what's going on, if you could find something to do. That's my take.
Ryan, can I say something in
Yeah.
reference to the NTI at home? That's an organization that we normally send our people to. It's ntiathome.com.
Yep.
And they train you to do certain jobs. So if you can use a telephone, they would train you how to be a customer service person by using the telephone. So there's so many things right there that they can tell you or train you to do. I would say check into that NTI at home. And I
Yep.
was just on the internet earlier looking at home jobs. There's tons of at-home jobs out there.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of the things that we did, it's about 14 months ago, is we did a review of different things that members have done here successfully, and we have those collected and put them on a website. Several of the members have come here as travel agents, and some are working for centers for independent living and doing different things. And that what they're doing exactly may not be for you, but you could pick up an idea or two, or something that
That's
you could
true.
do, right?
Mhm.
So if you're a member at the Disability Digest, you can just contact us and say, send me the information about what others are doing. So reach out to the support desk, and if you're not a member, then we'll share with you at the end how you can become a member. No charge for your membership here at the Disability Digest. Okay. How are we
Definitely
doing
is
with questions, David?
yeah, I just saw one. Is it ntiathome.org? Daphne?
.com.
Um,
If you search the content directory for NTI, we have an interview with links and phone numbers to them.
it's very helpful. New comment here asks, can I have my Medicare? Well, I have Medicare and Medicaid. What do I have to do to get my Medicaid paying my Medicare premiums?
What was the question again?
Someone asked if he has both Medicare and Medicaid.
Uh-huh.
He's asking what he can do to get his Medicaid, pay his Medicare premiums.
Well, if he has both of them, he should be checking with his Medicaid office, because normally when you have both, your state pays for your Part B premium. You should not be paying for your Part B premium. So he needs to check with the Medicaid office and find out why his state is not paying his Part B premium.
I have a question, Daphne. Do you find that there are instances where people have been paying and shouldn't be paying, and they're just not updated with their Medicaid
Yes.
office?
Yes,
Yeah.
and if I find them, I always tell them, please check with your Medicaid office, because you should not be paying for your Part B premium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is and that's $2,000 a year. This is one thing that I do want to remind individuals of, that is a not so good of the cost of living increase. If you have a disability check that is like $1,470 a month, and you're single and you don't have any other assets, and you get a cost of living increase that pushes you over $1,500, and in your state, the limit for help for your Part B premium is $1,500, and if you're over it, which you now would be, so you've got a $30 increase, and you are having your Part B paid for.
That's true.
But right, so that
Mhm.
happened big time 2 years ago, because we had an 8% increase, and it
Exactly.
really was a stinger. So just beware if you're in that bubble area that you're vulnerable for that.
Mhm.
Let me
All
check.
right.
No questions on our YouTube live.
Okay.
You guys have answered it.
All right. Great. Great. Philip, anything going on your side in the Facebook group?
Oh, I got a couple here. Says, how often should I speak with my attorney? I'm on appeal number 1. It's been 11 months.
Yeah, that's a good question. So
We
somebody
went
is a,
from we went from Medicare to disability.
that's all right. So I don't know the exact answer. What I advise everybody to do when you're considering hiring an attorney, or even if you're for your Medicare and you're working with an insurance agent, is understand and get a communication plan in place. So with the disability approval process, I strongly suggest that, like, what should I understand? What information should I provide you? Like when I go to the doctors, every doctor's visits, or just changes in conditions or increase in severity, and how often should we sync up? I know for the work that we do, depending on the stage of the process, it might be like once every 30 days. But if you are like at the reconsideration appeal and the appeal's been filed, there's a long stretch where nothing happens and nothing can happen until you get through that. So it really depends, but that's my recommendation as a communication plan. Here's another point on that. Individuals enter these relationships and they think that they own the attorney or non-attorney representative that is working with them. And they're calling them all the time. And the challenge with that is, especially in today's environment, there's so many disability cases out there. There's like 1.6 million of them. And there hasn't been a significant increase in the number of people that do this work. As a matter of fact, the commissioner has raised the fee cap for what disability representatives can get paid to entice more people to do this work. So I would be very careful about being a pain in the ass, is what comes to mind, about calling too much and getting that plan in place.
Yeah,
That's true.
sure. All right. Next one says, I applied in September of 22 and was denied. Do I need to wait until I have a lawyer, or do I go ahead and start the appeals process?
I don't know. So September of 2022 and was denied. We're in 2024. Is that, it's not clear to me. If you didn't appeal that case when it was denied, so let's say it was denied in 2023, like in June of 2023, right? That's just speculating the initial application timeframe. If you didn't appeal that, then you have to start all over again. If you did
Oh.
appeal that and you have an active case, then you could, see if somebody would be interested in partnering up as your representative. Either way, if you're starting new or if you have an active case and you're doing it on your own, you can talk with people about getting representation. A full service representation will work at all levels. Like we even coach people that have come to us and they're still working full time, but they know they're going to have to stop in like 2 or 3 months. So we'll coach them through. This is what you want to do. You want to find out your check amount. This is what you want to say when you're going to your doctors. These are the forms that you want to start looking at so that you can get them filled out. All that stuff can be done. So hopefully that's helpful.
All right. This is the last one I have here. Once you receive a letter that you have an appointment with Social Security disability over the phone, what happens on the appointment? What happens on that appointment?
On that appointment, they are going to go through a disability checklist, and I'm going to pull it up here. See if I can find it. So they're going to ask you the questions that are on this document. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I did two things at once. I was doing a little bit of talking and typing. All right. Dave, and I'll put this in the chat. You can send it out to the individual. So they're going to collect this information from you for your disability application, and they will likely ask you some questions about like why you are not able to work. So really it's an information collection process, and I don't want to read into the question there, but the one area where you could be I guess tripped up or caught off guard is if they ask you why you're not able to work and you do not properly respond. Because what they take over the phone could be put into the application. So my 2 cents on this, I'm not a fan of doing it over the phone because what's communicated over the phone is not always accurate. But if you provide a digital version of it, either you go directly to the Social Security website and you do it, or you use a representative that will collect all of your information and submit it on your behalf with a proper statement, then that is been historically the more accurate communication of information, right?
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right. Perfect timing, because I have to be out the door here momentarily. So as we wrap up, a big thank you to Daphne, Philip, for your contributions to the event.
Enjoyed
And
it.
David,
Always.
Yep. David, I appreciate you being here and helping us out with the questions. And for those of you out there, we sure hope that if you're approved and you are on your benefits, that you take this information for your own health and safety and review the plan that you're on, and find out if it's going to be, beneficial for you. So if you're new here or you've had a change in status, we encourage you to either join us as a member or update us as a member. This is our website that's here. And to do that, it's just clicking the green button. And the reason why this is the best way for you to get help. We have I think over 1,500 videos now on our YouTube channel. You can watch them all. That would be awesome. And we do these events at least once a week. And this is all for you, no doubt, and you can consume as much as you want. But for you to get from where you're at right now to where you want to go, the fastest way to do it is to fill out your profile or update your profile. Because that helps us understand, for example, no, I haven't applied. Yes, I've worked 50% or more the last year. And this information, age, conditions, these are all factors in the approval process. Now, if you're approved and you're coming through and you're filling out information like where you live and what conditions you have, this is all information that helps us get you into the right flow and the right channel of information so that we can help you either get your benefits approved faster keep them or maximize them. And there's no charge for your membership. There actually has never been. There's a guarantee on our website that if you find a charge somewhere, we'll pay you $133. And I haven't paid anybody $133 since we started in 2006. And the only reason I chose $133 is I wanted to have it over 100, and I'm a big Larry Bird fan, and he was number 33. So there you have it for that. So yeah, we're supported by ads and sponsors and services, and that allow us to get all the funding to make this work and make a difference and support you folks. So I hope you find value in that. Okay, that's it for today's show. We'll be back next week on our regular Wednesday, 3:15 Eastern, with an all new agenda. All right.
Okay.
Once again, thank you folks for joining us today. Have a blessed
Okay.
day. Be well, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Till the
Take
next
care.
time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mhm.